So yeah, I quit life 7 years ago. No one noticed, and they still haven't. Um, I don't even know why I did it. Like, it wasn't something sudden. It was just something that happened over time. Um, and my official tap out was probably when I quit my job in 2019. Um, and I wanted to just focus on other things. Um, wasn't exactly the catalyst for me tapping out like that. It was a culmination of many, many things over a period of time. I think the pressures of living in this world is just so overwhelming um, that it is becoming a trend where people are choosing to just tap out. Um, I used to aspire to that whole normie paradigm. It's super hard and unattainable. Nothing ever worked out for me. Um, and this kind of leads into more philosophical musings of different flavors. um, from being um, utterly nihilistic some days to being um, maybe more of a Gnostic, uh, stoic state of being. On other days, I think just existing is how I felt. I just existed. I I always knew something was wrong. Um, something wasn't right. I think we all know this. Eventually, you end up finding out that there's a matrix and there is this prison trap. Whether or not that is representative of something else, especially in modern times, um, the use of representations such as archons could be representative of something else, like perhaps it's probably advanced technology that is the archons, um, that's hidden from us. It's not necessarily um, something demonic, although I think those types of um, characters are probably used to illustrate certain narratives and to instill fear in all of us. But I think these are all relevant to, um, I guess, tapping out. I'm going to say tapping out. I found solitude, um, and to some degree, it can border on isolation, um, which is something I choose to do. Um, and a lot of people have, and it is very liberating because there is no point in being around people who suck the life out of you or going to a job where it sucks the life out of you. It doesn't align with anything that you think of, your personal sort of your morals, your values, which I find is quite devoid in my world. the world around me. It's very obvious if you just like scroll through Twitter. I am obsessed with Twitter. I find um I where do I begin with that? That is just alarming, to say the least, that these things are going on in the world and nobody does anything about it. And it seems to be okay. And this transcends also on a micro level in our daily lives. If you're awake and you see it happening, um, there's just so many questionable things that go on, and it's not right, but it goes on. But it's many things. I think solitude is very liberating, and it gives you a chance to really reflect and look inside yourself and to really create your own world and to see um, where you are, um, and where you sit in the world and how you reflect the world around you. And it's illuminating in saying that, because I can instantly tell you that nothing reflects my world around me. There is nothing. My whole life here, I've had to just pretend and try to be like them, because I worked out that I'm not like them and I don't share the same thoughts as them. I don't even know if they think. I'm calling them they. I think they're NPCs. Well, let's just call them normies. But I'm pretty much at that point in my life. I figured out that I have been socializing with empty golem normie type people, um, just emptiness, empty shells. I am pretty sure, and I'm convinced that I grew up in a house full of normies, um, devoid of any self, spark, what have you. No one was like, no one is like myself around me. I think I had maybe like one friend towards the end there who was um, somewhat conscious and um, extremely kind and generous and selfless. I find other people are extremely selfish. I find we just live in a really selfish world, and eventually it takes its toll um, if you carry the spark, if you follow Gnosticism, then you know the difficulties of living and being around people who just lie constantly, who will do anything to fit in and to defend their matrix. To live in a world where people will turn on you constantly, no matter what. I cannot explain this phenomenon. If you know why, let me know if this has happened to you. I have an idea that, from what I've come across and read, that it could be frequency mismatches, but I also think that there's a lot of other things that are at play that contribute to someone not fitting in. I don't know. People say this could be like a starseed thing. I don't really know. I don't even know if I am one of those. I'm sorry, I thought I heard a van at the front. I really don't want to edit this video. I kind of just want to start this off and kind of talk about more deeper things on my channel. Pretty much changing things up again because I kind of like want to have an outlet again. I've been on my own for such a long time that I have done a lot of reading, and I kind of like to create like a little community of people who are sort of going through the same thing. Are maybe questioning things and also don't exist in this world. But yeah, anyway, I quit life and it's great. Nobody knocks on my door. I have, uh, well, I talk to my dad every now and again, um, and I help him out at times, which is difficult because he's extremely programmed, and he sucks the life out of me. Like, it is so painful. Like, I find, recharging and people draining you just becomes more and more so apparent as the years go by, and it takes a lot more to recharge from that. And that was like a major thing for me when I was like just before 2019, when I was working as well. I found being around people just really painful, like I always have, but it just wasn't recovering from it anymore. I was just wanting to sleep all weekend. And I was like just really struggling with that. And I was like exercising and things like that. But it was a very, very stressful period in my life. Also because what led up to it was that just a couple of years prior, like my mom, she got cancer and she died, and that was really difficult. But it brought about a real painful kind of awakening. It really brought me back to this like authentic rawness of just being in touch with my body, and my soul and my mind. It's just like everything just kind of smashed into one, and I just couldn't take anymore. It was so it was like a bell went off. I just all of a sudden found such clarity, because I walked around lying to myself for so long, going, I have to go to work, I have to do this, I have to like, you know, be like the rest of everyone else, like everyone else. I have to be like them. I have to get by. This is what like healthy human beings do, is they, are a part of their society. They have like some friendships and they socialize with each other. They have healthy social connections, like, and they go to work, and my work was not that bad either. It was pretty good. Like, I was helping people. Well, I thought I was. Can't really help people, but that's what I was kind of doing. But then it got to the point where I just couldn't help anyone anymore because I couldn't help myself. And I guess I was just constantly trying to like get by and numb myself out from like the reality. And that wasn't healthy. But it just wears you down over time, and you're like, no, I can't do anymore. So yeah, I did end up now. I have a very Gnostic view on things, but I can still be very nihilistic at times. But the thing is it isn't one thing or the other. I think we all struggle with categorizing and putting things in boxes and labeling them when it's really not like that. Things are so dynamic and fluid, and it's so complex. Um, things aren't simple, and they try to make things simple. You just look out there, look at the algorithm, everything is like in a perfect little um, box in some archival library where you can just like categorically access something like so streamlined. Um, and that's simply not the case. I kind of don't want to fall into that. I just kind of want to do what I want. And I just feel like things need to be labeled, but who says that? It's somebody else that says that. And I think we fall, and indeed I do and always have kind of um, fallen into these sorts of like traps where I think, oh, I have to kind of like fit into this box. I have to like follow these instructions and um do it this way. But like it doesn't work like that, and it shouldn't work like that, and we shouldn't be dictated to by others because it's so ingrained into the way that we are educated and socialized. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to talk about quitting life and how I feel about that. Um, but yeah, I have no expectations now. None. Everything is like non-existent. I don't, have to meet any demands. Obviously, I have no friends, which helps because I've got no accountability anymore, which is so awesome. I don't have to like pretend to like care about stupid things like um whether or not their new sofa looks good, or whether or not they're making the right decision about taking some dumb job or whatever. I really don't need a lot. I've also found I don't need much to get by. Actually, I'm really happy on my own now that I don't have to talk to anyone, because I used to find it very, very stressful. People like small talk and like, how's the weather? And kind of want to like make videos about my musings on certain things. I'm not sure. Um, I really don't know, to be honest. And I don't want to have like any constraints on things that I do. I just want to do what I want to do. And I kind of want to document sort of this thing because I have this thing where I don't exist. And I really don't. And I've been alone for such a long time now. And I kind of want to like have a little place of my own, which is mine. And I don't really know. Actually, no, I was going to say, like, I know a lot of people contemplate quitting life and they just want to tap out and just not go to work anymore. Like, sometimes you can't plan these things. Like, I just didn't. I didn't plan these things to happen. It just kind of accumulated. So, like, when my mum died, um, I didn't, I took care of her too. So, like, it was over like a period of time. So she was sick for I think maybe like 2 years. Um, but you don't expect the impact that has on your psyche and how it opens you up to certain things. And I physically couldn't do anything anymore. And I couldn't be around people. I was so drained and tired. I literally could not function. Um, like at the beginning of when I quit life, um, I had no energy for like maybe a year. I just slept a lot. My brain was like mush. Um, I couldn't do anything really. I was pretty low, because it's such a shock when you realize that there really is nothing in your life anymore. And the people you thought were your friends and your family aren't. um, you realize that people are so materially driven, self-involved, really self-involved, selfish, and opportunistic to the point that um, they will cut you if they don't get what they want. And when they get what they want. And even if you've helped them and have only helped them, yeah. Like, so at what point is it too much then, when that's kind of the theme of your life, really, but you've just been in denial about it, but then suddenly some catastrophic event happens and it just changes your whole world. I can not tell you like what that feeling is, to be overcome by this force and this clarity at the same time, but fatigue and tiredness, and just you kind of like slip into this like sort of atheistic abject nihilism is how I was for pretty much let's say the last 6 years, because something happened to me over the last year. Yeah, I don't know what it was exactly, but something brought me back. I don't know what it was. I have to say that there's a lot of things that come to play that I just cannot quantify, that has no rational explanation. Yeah, but all of this was out of my control. Like, I couldn't control things anymore, and I controlled a lot of things because I was really conscientious of and hyper vigilant about everything, because I was always constantly trying to fit in and stay afloat, and for nobody to realize that I didn't belong in this world. Because you realize that you're not like everyone else. Not in a special way, like, but like in a, I don't know, in some strange way, you just realize that there's something different about them and you. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Oh my God. Anyway, I kind of just, I don't even know. Look, I just like philosophy, and I find philosophy brought a lot of comfort into my life over these years that like I was in solitude. And I think people just kind of gravitate to that because they question their existence and where they fit into the world and their purpose. Because I think we come into this world, if you have the spark and you're awakened. Again, I refer to Gnosticism because the only thing that I can sort of like, that I relate to, that you know that something isn't quite right, and that there is a them and you, but I still have no real answers, and I don't know if I will ever get any answers, but I just wanted to talk about it because there's nothing wrong with quitting life. It doesn't have to be because of some existential crisis. It can just be because you want a quieter life. And I did want a quieter life, but like what happened for me is that I just couldn't anymore. My body broke down, my mind broke down. And I just saw everything as a lie. So, and I didn't think anything was worth it anymore. And I realized through all this that I need very little to get by. Also, nobody wants to know you. At the end of the day, I found nobody. And people are just people that are heavily involved in their lives. Doesn't matter what degree of familiarity you might have with a person. They really don't care at the end of the day. Even if you've done a lot for them, they just don't care. And it's kind of the theme of, it's a common character trait I have found in this world. The narc. They are all narcs. Narc orcs. Okay, I know this is kind of low, and I probably didn't really like articulate anything, but it's just many things. But at the end of the day, I quit life 7 years ago. No one noticed. No one's asked me any questions. But like the only person I really talk to, I don't even talk to. I just like see my dad, and I do things for him because he's old. I am a really bad people pleaser. And I can never say no. So that's kind of also why I choose to step away from people, because I kind of just found it to be like a revolving door type situation. It's just so one way all the time. People constantly dumping their lives on you and have no interest in anything that's going on for yourself, or like, not that I expected that kind of thing, but it's just the constant lack of reciprocity in relationships. I just find like people to be just really self-involved. But I know there's like people like ourselves out there, and we're all sort of scattered about. I don't know why. And kind of in the same sort of mindset about things. So anyway, I just wanted to make that video and to kind of get the ball rolling, and to change up sort of like the videos I've like made in the past. I think I've left most of them up. I still find some of those things interesting. Like, I do like those things. I just can't be like fucked, to be honest, with those things, some things. But I still want to like kind of have a platform to like talk about things that interest me. So yeah, this is just my point of view. I don't know what my next video would be like, but I don't I just want to do what I want and um not kind of be stuck in boxes anymore, because like I think we should be breaking those kinds of ways of thinking, um and just maybe start questioning everything around us and come together, because we don't. Um, even though I know I'm like I'm anti people, but like that is kind of like the problem. Is people come together for all the wrong reasons. I don't, or they don't come together at all. But anyway, yeah, look, I'm gonna just leave it there, and um, yeah, I mean, I probably could have gone deeper and darker about it. I didn't even make notes. I just wanted to talk. Anyway, I don't really know what else to add to that, but I just want to put it out there because I think it's important to document it for like my sake, in terms of my um, lack of existence in this world. But also, I know a lot of people are going through this, and I think it's a really interesting sort of thing that's going on. And it is very much a symptom of society. So we should really like kind of put it out there, because there's nothing wrong with having enough and saying enough is enough, because you have to recover from the toxicities of everything. I don't know. It's just, yeah, I have a rather light view of it now, because, like I said, the last year for me has been different. Something kind of has changed. Things, and even more so over the last few months. Just really, I don't know, maybe it took me 7+ years to recover from a lifetime of like trauma of being in this world. But yeah, anyway, I'm just gonna leave it there, and I'll see you in the next video.